Welcome back, and today with Shop with Mellick, I want to talk about a biscuit joiner, or a plate joiner. It looks like this, and it's set up to put in these little biscuits into the edge of your board so that you can assist with gluing. How this works is it allows the glue more surface area when you butt joint two boards together. It cuts a groove into the board, and it allows the glue, then the biscuit goes in there and you got surface area around the biscuit for the glue instead of it just being like this. And the biscuit will expand with the glue and squeeze out the joint or expand inside that joint, therefore giving it a tighter fit, which is much better than just a flat out butt joint. The biscuit itself is made up of compressed beechwood, and when you soak them in water, they do expand. It's kind of neat. I don't have one right here with me that I have expanded, but usually in class over here, we'll put one in a little Dixie cup and let it sit for a couple days. The reason why it expands with the glue is any moisture that gets on this. It doesn't matter if it's soda pop, glue, water, anything wet that gets on this, it will start to expand. So, I have my biscuit joiner here, and it's got a couple different features. I can do it flat like this and lay it on a table, or it's got this plate that comes down. If I want to biscuit join something at an angle, I can do that. Do a reverse biscuit on a corner, or I can just take it and do it at a 90, which is what most people prefer to do. So it comes at a 90. When you biscuit it, you take it, you put the board right here, and you push on the machine, and out comes the knife. So I'll set it up here on end, and I'm going to push down. And you can see the knife there, and the knife spins, and it cuts just a thin little notch into the wood. The biscuit joiner is also adjustable for height on this side. You can take this one, loosen it, and then you can raise and lower the height of the board that you are going to do it on. Because, like I said, that board, I'll grab one here, it rests just like that. So if I raise it or lower it, it's going to adjust how this is sitting on it here and there. So I've got a couple boards laid out here I want to show you, and then I'll run a couple biscuits, and then I'll review with you, and we'll be good. So my first boards, they are right here, and you got to remember that when you do this, it's just like in the other video where I talked about alternating the grain. You can see how the grain on this one goes down, so it goes arc up, arc down, and then the last one, it arcs up. That's how I want to do it. Then you have right here the top of the boards. What I want to do is I want to line them up, and I'm going to want to make just 3 marks. And that's where my biscuit joint is going to go. 1, 2, 3. And I'm drawing across both boards here. So that way it lines up. Now, on my mark the other crack here, I'm not going to want to make the marks directly across each other, because if I forget which order they go in, the lines won't line up. So I'm going to stagger them just a little bit. That way it doesn't fit. So now that I've got my marks on there, I can now take my biscuit joiner and I can align my height of my biscuit joiner. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the biscuit joiner and I'm going to set up to the wood like this. And I'm going to make sure that the blade hits it right in the middle. So I'll try and do this so you can see what's going on here in a second too. Alright, so aligning my height, what I'm doing is I'm lowering this plate back down until it hits my board. That way I know where I'm at. I'm going to take it, I'm going to push this out and see if I'm going to be in the center. Right now I'm really low, so I'm going to keep going lower. Just going to bring the machine up and go from there. The other reason I'm doing that is because when I'm done, I want all of my boards to be the same thickness. So I'm going to run through the planer and the sander after I'm done gluing everything up the way everything's perfectly flat. The pencil marks that I made, they will line directly up with this red line right here. If I get a really long one, I've got long lines. Okay, so got my marks. I'm gonna plug this all in, and I'll run a couple. And I'll show you what it looks like. Before I make my cuts, I forgot to tell you that each biscuit is done with a size. So that one says 10, and then this one here, it says 0. I don't know if you can read that or not. And then this one here says 20. We'll flip it over, 20. And the biscuiter on the side, it has a depth gauge right here that I can adjust, 10, 20, and 0, and then a max. I'm going to put a 20, size 20 biscuit in here. So I've got the red mark here lined up to the 20. That way when I push it in, it stops it at a size 20 biscuit. I got my saw plugged in. When it sounds, just like that, it does have a slight kick to it, so you want to be aware of that. Setting my board up, line it up to the mark. And all it does is put that little groove in there. So now, what I want to do is, I'm going to have my groove, I'm going to put the groove on the other side, but I can put my little football in there, and it sets in there, and the other board will come in across it. When I put glue in this, I want to make sure that I put glue inside the groove, then put my biscuit in, and then I can put glue inside the groove on the other one, or I can just put glue over the biscuit. I also need to make sure that I have glue here. And then when I clamp everything up, just as like I said in the clamping video, I want to make sure that I alternate my clamps, meaning I have, let me get this set up here again. I've got one clamp on the bottom, or on the top, and the next one's on the bottom. So it's top, bottom, top. I don't want them all on the same side because then they'll cause it to arc. So I make sure I alternate the clamps. Anyway, this has been a video on how to biscuit joint. Thank you.